Okay, everyone. Today's meeting is not the norm. We want to be able to give you guys insights for those who are unfamiliar with certain beautiful scenic places in Africa, how beautiful it is compared to other places that you might already be familiar with, such as Hawaii and places like that. Tanzania has some of the most beautiful beaches in Africa, Zanzibar, but not ignoring Kenya, Ghana, and other places in Africa. But our motherland is really wholesome with places to tour. And the goal is to support those businesses in Africa that are African owned, African operated, by the way, to spend our African American dollars with them and also become familiar with what they have to offer. And hopefully that will spread from you to other people should you visit. But that being said, Mr. Osmond, I'm going to let you kind of fill in who you are, what you do, and all those wonderful things. Okay, and then we're just going to have everybody ask questions as they so free to do so. And everyone, respectfully, if you raise your hand, and I'll try to recognize you with the raised hand of the person to ask the question, so we have some form of order. But Osmond, you got the floor, my man.
Okay, good morning, guys. My name is Osman. I live in Tanzania. I was born in Zanzibar, but I live, I can say in both. Because in Tanzania, we have the mainland, which is called Dar es Salaam, and also we have the island, which is called the Zanzibar. In the mainland, we do have the national parks, where you will see various wild animals. We have national parks like Serengeti, which is among the biggest national parks in the world. Also, we have the Tarangire, which have a lot or many elephants, like thousands of them. And also we have the Lake Manyara National Park, which have the most beautiful flamingos. Also, the last part is Zanzibar, which has the most beautiful beach, like you see. I'm on the first beautiful beach in Zanzibar. This is a long beach, which if you walk, you can use like 1 hour walking through this beach, and you cannot drive. Today is Saturday, so it's weekend, that's why you see a lot of people. On this side, there's a beach. On this side, there's a lot of hotels, like you see. I came here with a few tourists, but now they went on the boat. They're just doing the sunset cruise. In a short story, if you have any question, please, you are most welcome.
Yeah, Tony, this is Warren. Yeah, I have some questions, but I put a note in the chat about can everybody get on mute while the brother's talking, so we don't have, I know he probably has a lot of background noise, but yeah, that if always can get on mute so we can hear. So my question is, I'm blessed to have been to Kenya and Tanzania. I climbed Kilimanjaro to the top. We went with a delegation of like 300 and only 13 people made it to the top of Kilimanjaro. And I was one of 13. Yeah, I stayed in Mombasa, Nairobi. I've been to Ngorongoro, Serengeti. It was a beautiful, I'm planning to move to South Africa, but my second home will be Tanzania and Zanzibar. One question, what is the distance between Zanzibar and the Seychelles Islands? How far is that?
5 hours by flight.
5 hours?
Yeah, by flight.
Okay, what is the airline that does that? What is the airline from Zanzibar to Seychelles or Dar es Salaam to Seychelles?
I don't know that airline, but we do have many. Many of them, they used to depart in Tanzania, and then they are going to Seychelles, the big flights from outside Tanzania.
Okay. Also for, I know the Zanzibar is a lot of like tourist places. What places do you recommend that's kind of medium price, not the high end resorts, but the medium price resorts? What are your ideas on that?
Mostly in Stone Town, because in Stone Town we don't have the nice and beautiful beach. We have the beach, but it's just a little beach. That's why many hotels over there, they are not high price. But outside Stone Town, the hotels are super expensive. But also we do have small hotels like bungalows, lodges. They also give out the good price on the beach. Okay.
Oh, yeah, that was it for me for questions right now. Other people can, I think William has his hand up.
Okay.
Yes, good morning, good brother. I'd like to know, when you say hotel prices are high price and low price, what is a high price? What's a reasonable price? What are you talking about in terms of dollars and cents? I have a school, I bought a school affiliated with Seychelles, and I'd like to know what real prices in terms of what you're talking about. Stay at a hotel in Zanzibar.
Okay. The high price we used to usually start from 500 USD per night, and small price, it depends which kind of hotel, but we do have 50 USD per night. But their accommodation sometimes is not good. We have also 100 USD per night. So it depends which type of hotel you chose. For example, like Zuri, we have Zuri Resort, which is in Kendwa Beach. This hotel, usually they charge per night 700 USD. And it's all inclusive resort. And also in Stone Town, we have like Park Hyatt, which is a luxury resort in Stone Town. It also charges around 400 to 500 per night.
Thank you.
Is that in US dollars?
Yes, US dollars.
Where do residents typically stay?
Yes.
Which hotel? Which hotel would you stay at? Which hotel would you stay in?
Me, I don't have a hotel here. I have families around this Tanzania, so I can live wherever you want.
So if you chose to stay at a hotel, which hotel would you recommend?
In Dar es Salaam, I usually recommend the Coral Beach Hotel. And in Zanzibar, we have Tembo Hotel, we have Double Tree Hotel, which is in the beach. We have Jambiani Villas, which is in the east of Zanzibar. And also we have this one in front of me, which is called Kenba Rocks Hotel. This one, they wrote it Kenba Rocks Hotel, which is nice on the beach, and their price a little bit is nice. I think it's something like 200 USD. I don't know, because now it's the low season. So in high season, they increase, in low season, it decrease.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
Yeah, Osman, when is, give us the seasons. What are the seasons, high season, low season? When are those dates?
Okay, the high seasons start from June and July to August. And then from end of November to the end of February. That is the high season in Tanzania. And other months, I can say the rain season, but it's not raining too much, just a little bit. Maybe sometimes like 5 hours, sometimes 3 hours, sometimes 2 hours. You know, the weather always changes, so we cannot predict sometimes.
Number one commodity.
Okay. Yes?
What's the number one commodity? What is Tanzania known for?
It's known for. I can say many people, they know Zanzibar than Tanzania. That's why some people, whenever they ask me, they want to come to Zanzibar and do the safari. I used to tell them in Zanzibar, because it's just island.
In Zanzibar, what product is Zanzibar known for? Tourism?
Oh, spice and tourism. In Tanzania, we do have Tanzanite, gold, Tanzanite. I think you have heard about it.
Yes.
Okay, you are welcome.
So Osman, what type of services do you offer? What are your services?
I offer all transfers, I offer the safaris, I offer the tours in Zanzibar. For example, we have day trip safari, which is done in Dar es Salaam, which took the whole day from 3 a.m. to 10 p.m. And also in Serengeti and other big national parks, we do like 3 days, 2 days, 5 days. It depends which someone wants. And in Zanzibar, we have a Stone Town tour, which gives you the history about Zanzibar. In Stone Town tour, we have the slave market, we have the prison island, and we have Nakupenda Beach. Nakupenda Beach, it means I love you beach. Because always when you go there, you love it. That's why we call it Nakupenda Beach. And also we have the aquarium, which you can swim with the turtles. And also we have relaxation on the beach like this today. This is the beach relaxation tour. You just come here and relax. If you want the whole day, if you want a few hours, it depends on someone. Also, we have the cooking class. We have the village tour. We have the Nemba Island. And we have Safari Blow. Those are the tours you can find in Zanzibar.
What religion is dominant in Zanzibar? Is it Islamic? Which religion is dominant, most dominant in Zanzibar? Christian, Islam?
In Zanzibar, 90% people are Muslims. But in the mainland Tanzania, people, they are mixed. We don't know. People, they just live their own life.
What perception does foreigners receive when they come? Is there a sense of xenophobia or fear of foreigners?
No. Zanzibar is free of choice. You can live if you are Muslim, if you are Christian, if you don't have any religion, you can live in Zanzibar. People, they don't judge here. The only thing is when you go in Stone Town, we usually recommend people to cover their body in Stone Town, but other parts of Zanzibar, it's fine.
Repeat, you cover your what?
Covering their body, the women.
I don't understand. You mean?
Yeah, what he's saying is that women can't come how they are in America, your breasts all out and stuff like that. You have to cover up your
body,
breast.
Yes, your breast, your arms.
Right.
You don't have choked like
I see. You have to dress like a Muslim woman. I see.
No. Just cover your body. Just cover your body. Not like
cover
Muslim.
the body. Yeah, you can't have Daisy Dukes on and stuff like that. Yeah, very revealing stuff. They just want you to like cover your breast and then, don't just wear sexually oriented clothing.
Yeah,
don't wear that. Yes, right.
I see.
It's because some men here, they used to touch women, if you don't cover, because some parts will be out. Some men, they will call you, hey, please come here. Hey, how are you, Mambo? So things like that. That's why we recommend women to cover their body in Stone Town.
I just saw a lady behind you with. I just saw a lady behind you with an olive orange on.
The beach is free.
I saw her
Like
upper. Yeah.
The beach is
Is
free.
that covered or is that not covered?
The beach is free.
I see.
She's on beach. On the beach is free.
All right, we have a raised hand from Galaxy S10. You don't have a name, but if you will, unmute yourself and ask your question, please.
Hi, guys. Anu, Mo, sorry. And you just answered the question. I was going to say, was that in general or at the beach? Is the beach, you have to wear a one piece, but then I saw the lady walking by. So I'm assuming, but well, no,
Just
is it the same thing? Do you need a one piece on? Or, I mean, like you said, the beach is free. You can be yourself, right? You can wear a two piece, or should you still cover?
the beach, you can wear whatever you want, just in Stone Town.
Okay, that was it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Green, you have questions? Please go back at it, sir. And thank you for all those questions.
Yeah,
you're
Brother
asking.
Osman. Yeah.
Yes.
Can you give us your you on Facebook? You have WhatsApp number, all of that. Can you provide us with that information?
Yes, I'll give it. I'll post on the group.
Mr. Green, if you go to the group, Exploring the Continent of Africa, you can obtain this information, is what he's saying to you.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Come on, there got to be more questions from the floor, guys. This is pretty much
I
exciting to get this. Go on, Dr. Sherrill, please.
Yeah. How long have you been in business?
5 years now.
5 years. How is business?
The business actually is good. I've met a lot of people. Some people now we are family, and some people are still friends. Something like that.
Yeah. Is there a lot of African Americans that actually come to Tanzania?
Yes, we do have a lot of them. Even today, I have 7 people. They are on the cruise now, but I didn't go because of this meeting.
Oh, okay. So are you like one of the few Black owners of this type of business in the country or in the industry?
Come again?
So are you like I hate that term minority, but are you like yeah, I hate it because we ain't that minority about it. But are you in the are there several people of African descent that are in the business, in the tourism business in Tanzania? Or are you like one of the few?
We are many here. We do many on this business. It's because even some maybe foreigners, when they come outside, they used to hire us because we know this place better than them.
Yeah.
So some of us, we are owners. Like me, I'm doing myself. I don't work for anyone.
Okay, that's cool, man. That's cool. That's good to know. That's good to know. It sounds like a fascinating place, man. It sounds fascinating. It does. It's like really appealing to me, man. You start talking about Serengeti and all like that, and Kilimanjaro, and I'm like, man, that sounds so cool, bro. Absolutely, absolutely. So let me ask you this one last question. As far as say, like, if somebody comes there and they decide that they want to leave from over here and they want to, well, I guess Stacy did that, left from over here and became a citizen of Tanzania. Is that a difficult transition?
That is difficult, but today's world, I think we have many of them African American. They live in mainland Dar es Salaam because Dar es Salaam is cheaper than Zanzibar.
Oh, okay.
because that is the biggest city. But in Zanzibar is a little bit expensive because the tourist island.
Cool.
So to get citizen here, I think you should live here for 5 years.
Okay.
But yeah, I think last year the president announced that if someone wants to invest like 10,000 USD, he can get a citizen in Tanzania.
Okay, Dr. Sherrill, we have two other pending questions. One is from
Yeah,
Madison. In order, Roger Madison, then William Means. But let me put a little bit of information out in terms of Black-owned businesses. And you mentioned it, Dr. Sherrill. Stacy Scott Masaki also operate a full tourist facility with a restaurant and accommodation for places to stay. And I'm giving a little information because we're going to have her to come on maybe in the next couple of weeks and show what she does, including air balloon rides. So that being said, Mr. Madison, if you will, pose your question, sir.
My question is, we're planning a trip to Tanzania in November 3rd through the 19th, and I think the last day we will be on Zanzibar at the Karafu, I think that's how you pronounce it, resort. Tell me about that place.
The Karafu Beach Resort, that is a nice hotel and it's located on the east side. It's called Michambi, which is 1 hour and 30 minutes from town or from Stone Town in Zanzibar. It's nice, the calm, and the beach is not packed like this. The only beach in Zanzibar which is full packed, this is called Kendo Beach. But on the east side, so you will enjoy.
Oh, great. Thank you. I appreciate it because it'll be our first trip to Tanzania and we're looking forward to Zanzibar.
Okay, you are most welcome.
Brother Means, if you will, you had a question?
Yes, 2 questions. Good brother. So in terms of identification, how do you identify yourself? Are you an African? Are you a Tanzanian? What is your self-identification?
Tanzanian.
Okay, so would you say you are Black?
Yes.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure I understand that. Second question: if I go there and if I want to have a party or have a social life that was extraordinary, would that be acceptable or would that be frowned upon?
If you have a party?
Yes.
You mean if you want to organize a party? It depends. If you want to organize a party, we can find maybe a private beach and we can provide you a party there.
Are live parties frowned upon? Is there a strong social life in Zanzibar?
Yes. For example, like on this beach today, we have beach party today.
So can you take a picture of how at a beach party looks like? Can you show me what they look like in terms of a party?
No problem. I'll check them and I'll send it to you.
Great.
You're welcome.
Osman, are you accessible to any African Americans that you could just go over to and put them in on a Zoom meeting? Don't worry about it. Just if there's somebody you could bring forward and let them say hello to us, just making the connection, if that makes sense. If you don't see anybody, don't tarry.
I think we do have them here, but you know, African Americans, sometimes when you ask them, it's a little bit hard.
Understood. Are there any other questions? Because guys, I think this is a great opportunity. We have a guy that is 5 years vested into his business of developing tours and get you the inside information that you need should you plan to go there. And partying, Brother Means, is something that we love to do. We don't want to go there and just stand still. We want to enjoy every moment of it. And I'm sure Mr. Madison as well, as I speak, Osmond need your insight and directions so he can better plan to make sure that his guests are overly excited and walk away with a wonderful experience that will make them come back again. But not to talk everybody out, but are there any other questions to ask this young man?
I think I may have missed, I missed the beginning, so I'm not sure if I'm repeating a question, but as far as the dominant language, what is the dominant language?
You mean our first language?
Yes, in the area. Most people in that area would speak, what is it, English or French? Exactly, French.
Our first language is Swahili.
Okay.
Then English.
Okay.
But too many people know English, just few people.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, and also this is Warren. What is the currency? What's the currency in?
Okay, our currency, we use shillings. Tanzanian shillings, yes.
Now, also, Osmond, do you know the banks? Do they have what they call non-resident accounts? Do you know about that? So if I'm African American, I come to Zanzibar, I go to a bank. Can I open up a bank account in
yes.
As a non-resident? Okay, what are the top? Give me the top 3 banks of Zanzibar.
We have Exim Bank. We have the NBC Bank, and we have TP Bank.
Say that last one again.
TP Bank.
Okay, and you say shillings, yeah. Do you know the conversion rate, right? Like
yes.
How many shillings for $1?
$1 is equal to 2,300 shillings.
What's the difference in shillings and francs? Do you know?
Yes.
What is the difference between shillings and francs?
Shillings and francs? I don't know that. I don't know.
Okay. Thank you.
Look, the next question comes from Mr. Roger Madison. If you will, Mr. Madison, pose your question, please, or your comment. Madison? Okay. Dr. Cook, do you have any questions or any comments? Oh, Mr. Madison, are you ready?
Tyrone.
Yes, sir.
Tyrone, forgive me. I'm on my cell phone and I was trying to navigate my way through my big finger to unmute myself.
My brother, you are well forgiven by all means. Go on, please.
I wanted to make this observation. We have been traveling to Africa for, I guess, since 1999, South Africa, primarily, Zimbabwe and Botswana. This will be our first trip to East Africa. And I believe Stacy is on the line as well. What I have tried to do in my travels, once I become familiar with an area, is I try to connect with and learn about how African business people, local business people run their businesses. And the reality is I learned that from the majority companies, the white companies. I learned how they run their business. I learned how they make money. And then I find local African businesses to work with. And as an example, when we go to South Africa, we do our complete and total travel itinerary with Black-owned businesses, because I've learned how to navigate around all of the issues that at first glance make the African businesses non-competitive. The white businesses are so much larger, and they have so many more resources that they can afford to offer travel a lot less expensively. But what they offer is no different than what you'd get from an African business. As Brother Osman has mentioned, these white companies hire them to do all of their tours because they don't know the area. And so if we can figure out how to work directly with the African businesses, with the exception of the airlines, if you got to fly internationally, obviously, you got to get on one of the major carriers. But I generally do my very best to figure out how to work with local business people, even if we end up going to a resort like Karafu. If I could, in the future, for example, use Brother Osman to make the arrangement with Karafu, he benefits, we benefit, and although we use their resort, we get paid for bringing tourists in, as opposed to me paying a third-party white-owned company. So I just wanted to make that observation that I'm in the learning process whenever I travel to Africa to figure out the best way to navigate my way around these white companies so that we can help each other. And I wanted to just share that with everybody on the call, because it can be done. And we can offer travel just as affordably and provide high quality services to our clients, our customers.
Mr. Madison, listen, sir, you and I go back some years in the past, and what we were trying to do many years ago as we met, and even more so today. And I thank you for, I know what your heart is all about. And that being said, we have Stacy Scott Masaki that I want to comment. Stacy has an up and coming tour services that include residential stay, restaurant, and safaris, and including an air balloon ride, which she and her husband are trying to, as a small up and coming business. And I think she has potential to reach the larger scale. But Stacy, you're gonna have to come in and share with us. And a little bit, I know you didn't come to steal this stage, but you got the moment, if you will.
Well, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
So I thank you for the opportunity. I didn't really want to talk about my company per se. I wanted to kind of, comment on what Roger said. So about the white companies, right? So what happens is there are hiring guides, right? That's different from a company like a full-on, tour company. We do the same thing. We're a Tala registered company. My husband has been a safari guide, a tour operator since actually 2005. But you really don't, you have to bring over groups, and that's why like these white companies, they put a lot of money into marketing and that sort of thing, and then maximize their profits because they're bringing over large groups. That's how that works, just so I mean, it is possible, definitely, like if we worked with Osman, and if some people within our group we're putting together an itinerary and a trip, we could work through things knowing the budget that you're looking for, like Osman and I could work through things. I'm in Arusha,
you know, and again, I didn't want to talk about our stuff because I'm not trying to fill Osmond's thunder. Everybody's, you know, trying to make a living. But just wanted to answer that on Roger's comment. That's why they're able to do what they do. They group together, they invest in marketing and stuff to do the work for them. So a white approach a company like mine.
We're losing your voice, Stacey.
Most of them aren't kind of like having a global kind of okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, your signal
Can
is
you hear
kind of
me?
poor. Yeah,
Hello?
I hear you. Yeah, you're on, Stacey. Go on.
Sorry, I was just saying that I don't know what part of that I got. It's just
network.
I'm in Arusha. I'm saying there's a possibility of all of us working together. Because can you? Hello.
Yeah. Stacey, listen, you're breaking up in such ways that your point that you're making is not getting across. But listen, we can pick this up at a later stage, but we have some other questions on the floor, one from Juan Green, and then the next one from Anu. But let me make this comment first before we go to the questions and comments. Mr. Madison, sir, you know what you just mentioned earlier, and I've been discussing the two words climate change, which we're going to get into that at a later stage with this whole group. But that is what we need to do collectively as individuals. And we can start it with you, sir, because you already got the program in place, where when travel opportunities for African American goes to Africa, we want to focus our dollars, African American earned dollars with our African American families in various countries. And your point is well made. We know that white American has well established themselves in these businesses, and they will continue to be as prosperous as they are because they have laid the format out. But to your point, you learn the format and then you take it to our African-owned businesses. And whatever I can do to help assist you to help that business, what you're doing, grow, where we can attract more of our dollars, funnel it to you and the services that you're providing. It's something that we really, really will do, I promise you. That being said, last piece, guys, we're going to conduct classes on learning some good terms and how to speak Swahili. I think that's key, so that will be coming, so be aware of that. Now, that being said, Mr. Green, and then next we'll have two.
Where are you from?
Mr. Green?
I'm from Ghana.
Yeah, I think Brother Osmond is trying to link with some African Americans to get on the call. But just following what Roger and Stacey is saying, and I think, Tony, we talked about this earlier. To me, I think it's this is to me called the second wave of repatriation. It was those trailblazers that went before, it went to Ghana, some in Tanzania, a lot of places, South Africa. Now this second wave, we're coming with more technology. And so for this, what Stacey and Roger's doing, Osmond, we have the data collect. We have to collect this data to then be able, like she said, present, an African-based tourism with our own system. One of the things we have, when I went to South Africa, I went with Bomani, and he pulled together the itinerary himself. I know that people would be more comfortable to not go to these big white-owned tourist companies if we can present them like what Roger's doing, what Stacey's doing, with the package of hotel, of tour guides, restaurants. I mean, and they don't have to it's the lack of information, I think, is the main thing, because when I did my own research, it's way cheaper if we can, you know, and the white companies get away with murder because they have the monopoly on the information. And so we're gonna have to pull this information. Those who go to Tanzania and African Americans that live in all of these different places, Ghana, South Africa, we got to pull this information together and then market it in America to African Americans who tired of all this killing, who tired of Trumpism, all that. But we got to be careful to enrich the white people of our repatriation. We got to be careful of that. So hopefully, Tony, what your group is doing, what Gregory's group, African Americans in South Africa, we just need to start this momentum of data collection of Stacy, of Roger, of Osmond, and make that information accessible to people, and then create packages for people. And then, you know, some of the stuff they can do themselves. I think, you know, I do the Airbnb booking.com. You know, I mean, Stacy or Roger might have some other ideas on how we deal with the housing component. I don't know any part about the airlines and how we can get that part. But yeah, that's my piece on it. I think we just have all on this call got to be more conscious of any type of African-based data that we collect. We need to collect it, keep it, and make it accessible to the group. I'll just leave it at that.
Mr. Green, thank you for your comments, sir. And certainly, not only will we plan in words, but we will plan in our actions. So, so look at that coming forth. But it takes a lot of coordination with individuals who are willing to put the time and energies and efforts in. But I will say, if we funnel our efforts and energy towards Mr. Madison, who has already established the process, then we will not dilute it with trying to create new concepts. So, Mr. Madison, we're going to, at the one point in time, have a talk of consolidating all the efforts that Mr. Green so stated. With that being said, the next question comes up from Mr. Means, and also next would be Anu. So, Mr. Means, you got the floor, sir, with your question.
Thank you. Dr. Madison, I'd like to talk with you and others about business that I own. I have an online advertisement agency where I literally put online commercials and ads up for products. I'd like to talk with you about enlarging your scope and your customer base so that we could now do some marketing in terms of your trips and your travel to Africa. I never thought about this niche, but it's a powerful one where if I put advertisements about someone interested in an inexpensive trip to Tanzania or Zanzibar, and you happen to be the only one, I can send them to you, or you happen to be one of 10 people, your price is the best price, they'll go with you. Those kinds of things is like that I'm doing. And so if you're interested in talking with me, I'd like to have a conversation with you and others about that. It's a very successful online agency, primarily because most people use online sources to find out where to go for the things they need. And when it comes down to travel, most people use people who they know. So let's talk with you about that. Second thing I want to say is, if you don't know this, you need to know that the most successful way to do business today is through online marketing. It is the way to travel, the way to go. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Means. Next would be Anu, and then Mr. Madison, you have some follow-up comments as well. But by the way, Mr. Madison, I want to get you drinking some good coffee. But anyway, Anu, you're on next. Go, please.
Thank you. So my question is usually the same. You guys know I'm an herbalist, so I'm really big on natural healing. Going back to what you guys were saying before with tourism, is that the main business? So if somebody were to be an outsider, an American comes there to start their own business, would is the main business that everyone's doing or focused on or really making money based on tourism, or is there an opportunity to step outside of that, or even stick with tourism, but there's more people that are in the natural healing, natural lifestyle that you could benefit from? Did that make sense?
Yeah, Anu, but I don't know if Osmond is in the
for that.
mode to answer that question, but that might be a
Okay.
separate meeting because we're talking about
Okay.
exploring opportunities. Osmond, if you want to comment, please, sir.
Okay, thank you. So, for example, like myself, when I don't do tourism, I used to fix phones. And also part of healing is because Zanzibar is the most rich on the spice. So we have the spice tour. We call it the spice tour. We used to take people to the community farm where they can learn how the spices treat the body and also how they can use it on the food. We have some local doctors. We use the roots, we use the leaves, and we use the barks to heal the body. So on that part, I can say we are good.
That's amazing. I asked too because we were mentioning, I guess, how other nationalities are benefiting off of the land or tourism and stuff like that. And that's something that I keep noticing, that there's more white people that are really getting into healing and using the natural spices and herbs that come from the land, so to speak. So I think I'm always curious to see if that's something that we ourselves, Black people, Africans, are taking advantage of, or is that market being pushed more the other direction?
Right.
Yeah, we do that. For example, like next week, I'm going to send some packages of cinnamon and some packages of cardamom to the US. So we do it. We are great on that part. We are great. I'm not expert on that part. That's why I don't know many of it, but I do see a lot. I do see people, they are healing. Also myself, sometimes I use the local medicine and get healed. So I'm glad we are good on that.
My last question, I brought my mom. My mom just jumped in. So she wants to know if you could do a 360. She missed a good amount, but if you could do a 360, basically spin the camera around and let her see what you're looking at and tell us what you see. If you don't mind. Sorry, guys, and thank you. Oh, beautiful. Wow.
This is it right here in the beach. On this side, they have the hotels. Sorry.
That is gorgeous.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Okay, I knew that was, tell your mom hello from all of us. Much love to her. Hi,
Tyrone,
Mom.
Tyrone,
Yes.
before you go to Roger, let me answer that sister's question about what I think is a new movement that is coming in the repatriation called business tourism. In South Africa, on the herbal part, it's a place called Faraday in South Africa. It's probably the size of a football field of herbs from all over South Africa. They have every plant. I mean, this is where I think even herbologists like yourself need to go and study with these queen mothers in South Africa. They, they was on COVID before COVID even. Wormwood, they was on wormwood Like before COVID came out, they was already on One World. They percentages of population that got COVID is so low. It's just the media hype. You know, if 2 people get it and then they say it's 100% increase, that means 4 people got it. But they make it in the media like, oh, they doubled the people who got it, and that. So it's all hype. But that place, they took me to it. Every ailment you have, they have a herbal solution for it. And so that's what I put that on your list of places to go. It's called Faraday in South Africa, and it's huge, and every herb is there. Second, about the business tourism, that's why I talked about the non-resident banking account. When we go to these countries, we need to start opening up bank accounts. They have there that as a non-resident, you can open up, just have your passport. You got to fill out different little information and stuff like that. Another key is the only really downside is most of the business is done through the phone, not email. So if you don't have a South African number per se, it's a lot harder to do things. So you need to find either you get a SIM card, but you're not going to keep the SIM card when you come back to America. So you need to find someone in South Africa that can become your partner. I have a friend there. She, my information that comes from the banking, she gets it on her phone and then she emails it to me. But business tourism, I think, needs to evolve with this repatriation too, as you're saying, sister, because people want us to bring businesses to Africa. We shouldn't just be thinking about we need to repatriate, but also we need to set up some business entities, and it's people doing it. It's a friend of mine, his sister out of Nigeria. What she does is, if a group, say, of 10 people in America want to go to Nigeria to invest, she sets up, basically, it's called business tourism. You go in there specifically to look at land, to look at real estate, set up your bank accounts, all of these things. And so that's a industry that's just getting off the ground as relates to African Americans. And so I want to put that to everyone on this call, that we need to start, facilitating that also. So that's my feedback on that, on your question relating to that.
Mr. Green, I thank you. And might I ask, if you will, we need to have a offline discussion, because the opportunities are certainly there, but we need to, and maybe have a separate meeting with you one day explaining how to prepare to take a trip to Africa. That might be an upcoming meeting, and I think might be valuable to everyone. With that being said, Mr. Madison, you're next, and then Mr. Brother Beans.
What I wanted to share was, we have just begun to reach out beyond our African American community, and we are starting to attract white travelers to our company. And in reference to what Stacy mentioned, if you want to travel to Africa and you want a large group of people, the audience you need to go after is outside of our community. We are benefited, Black people in America, by the cultural aspects, the awareness of our African cousins and what the culture is there. But the reality is the audience of African Americans who've got $5,000 a pop to go on a trip is a whole lot smaller than the audience and the interest in Africa among that wider mainstream marketplace here in America. And Brother Means, what I want to specifically talk to you about, and I'm glad you mentioned your advertising company here on the call today, is while the anchor of our effort in terms of business and profitability and benefit is our own people, the audience that we need to go after. And the people who are spending money, and Stacy can confirm this, I would suspect that the overwhelming majority, if not 100% of some of the tours that her husband conducts are full of white people, 30, 40, 50 of them at a time, who travel to Africa, and they ought to be using our businesses. And so we need to reach that audience as well. And I have begun to include others in our trips this year. So that's something that we need to recognize as a deep reservoir of business opportunity that most of our Black companies haven't tapped into. We tend to reach out to our own audience, and that's wonderful when we carry groups of Black people to Africa with us, but there's more money to be made if we can tap into that other audience. They travel all the time, year round, in large groups. And if we can connect with them and get them to use our companies, then it's easy for us to make money, for Stacy to make money, for Osmond to make money, because we're going after an audience that is economically a whole lot better off than the local African American audiences that we typically connect with.
That's a beautiful summation, Mr. Madison, and certainly we can pursue that. Everyone, for the purpose of not having an extendedly long recorded meeting, I'm going to conclude the meeting from the point of recording, but we'll talk after I stop the recording, so just hold on. But everyone who was able to see this video, I hope that what the information been shared is helpful, and you will see the need to connect with these beautiful people in our motherland. Be blessed, everyone. This is the end of the recording.